All right, so there we are. And so here's a video for you. Um, I'm going to talk about a couple things briefly, and then I'm not going to talk anymore. So, yeah, my channel has been an absolute nightmare of medical blogs and everything that is frigging wrong with me. And I'm tired of that. I'm just going to say it. I'm tired. I'm sick and effing tired of it. So, I'm going to come clean and then we're going to go forward. So, yeah, the other stuff, the digestive stuff and all that, still going on, still don't have any answers. And there's unfortunately something else that's been added to that component. Yeah, I'm sure you can see that fact that my right hand is trembling uh, pretty much uncontrollably. I have been on some medications now for, let's see, I'm 58, so like 24 years, some mood stabilizers. And trust me, when you work in radio, you can have an interesting personality. And I had a lot of interesting personality in the days that I worked in radio, and the mood stabilizers didn't help much then. But as I went on and I finally was able to get out of the business and um, kind of move into a stress free life, um, things got significantly better and then worse. I turned into a drooling slob. And fortunately, we only live 2 hours from Mayo Clinic in Rochester, Minnesota, and they graciously, in the psychiatry department, accepted me for evaluation, analysis, and recommendations. And so we went. I don't remember a whole lot of the initial visit. I went through a huge battery of neurologic and psycho psychological testing, and cognitively I'm fine, I'm good, which was a big relief. um, Psychologically, I now have a very complex mental health diagnosis that was not diagnosed properly in the beginning. So for all these years, I've been treated for things that I shouldn't have been treated for, and the things I should have been treated for, yeah, I didn't get treated for those things. And as Leanne will tell you, living with me wasn't a picnic then. And also, our three uh, older millennials, and I know they hate that, will also tell you Dad was a drooling baboon for a long time. I never knew that when we go down to our daughter's home in the Des Moines area, that I would literally sit down in a recliner and pass out. And I'd wake up for lunch, go back to sleep, and I'd wake up for dinner, and I never knew otherwise, and nobody said anything. And our son lives in Chicago, and I did the same damn thing with him. So it was really a very bad situation. The nice thing is the good doctor saying, who is the head of the psychiatry department at Mayo, took my case on himself based on the notes. And excuse me a second, I love me some high B soda diet. Anyway, based on the case notes and everything else. And he started simply. He literally took me off every single medication I was on. And there were about 7 of them that were just antipsychotic, mood stabilizers, and things like that. And then we started a whole new, from scratch, medications. And it changed my life. Um, and at my final visit with him, we were walking down the hall back to the waiting room to see Leanne, and he said, "You know, Harry," said, "we've been seeing each other for 4 months." And he said, "I've never seen the change in an individual like I see in you." And I felt it. I felt new. And I felt like I had lost, at that point, 28 years of my life that were just a blur of things. And you have to understand, when that much of your life vanishes, it leaves a rather large crater. And all of a sudden, my wife looked at him and said, "Excuse me, thank you. You gave the man back I married." And we got married at 20. So for 38 years, she's endured this crap. And to hear that, you just don't know what it did for me and for us. And one by one, our children discovered they really did have a dad. And all 5 of our grandkids discovered they had a papa. So that in and of itself was an absolutely wonderful thing and a beautiful gift that I will cherish forever. So now, anyway, a few years back, when I was still in Chicago, I noticed these very, very small tremors, and I was told they were pre-Parkinsonian tremors. Well, now we're looking at some more intense side effects of everything I was on for so long, because recent studies are just starting to come out now that say people like me who have been on long-term mood stabilizers and uh, psychological drugs, they're just starting to see reviews and side effects for long-term exposure to them. And because, um, again, people like me have been on them for so long. So um, this is one of the things they're very concerned about. So, yeah. So I'm going through, as I did with the Parkinson's and multiple sclerosis, testing, more tests, more evaluations, and we're going to find out what's going on, be it tardive dyskinesia or something else. So anyway, I'm not flying anymore. As a matter of fact, I've given my Spark, my Mavic Air, to my son-in-law, Jonathan, and he's making great use of them, and I'm very happy that they're getting used. I did purchase a Mavic Mini. He had done a couple of really nice videos for it. And then we discovered a huge black blotch dead center of the lens. So I thought, okay, I can wipe that off. No, it's inside the lens. So I had to take it back to Best Buy. They didn't have another one. I wasn't gonna get one. So I returned it and went in a different direction. So honestly, it was probably the best decision I could make, because I'm so jerky. I mean, my wife is my spotter and she does a great job. But if I jerk the wrong way, I could lose the drone. And $500 to $1,000 worth of drone is not worth losing. So yeah. So droning only for now, in name only. But I'm hoping that eventually there's a Mavic Air 2 with my name on it. What I do that fortunately does not require, well, it requires some hand-eye coordination to make sure you don't get hit, is I run ARMA RC remote controlled truggies, and I love them. And there's nothing like the thrill of having a 4S battery packed inside excuse me, a 1/8 scale Creighton flying down the road at 50 plus miles an hour, or Italian at 70 plus miles an hour, as long as it doesn't hit your foot. My wife's driving my Granite now. I have a Granite 4x4 BLX, and she's loving that. So, yeah. So it's all good, and it's all fine, and we're happy. And, again, this aside, we're doing well, and I'm happy with the situation for now. And honestly, I'll be going through more tests. So anyway, we're finally getting to go out to Ledges this weekend, Ledges State Park here in it's in Boone, Iowa, and it's just a wonderful place. So there's my wife. I love ya. Bye.